I'm wonderful.
Happy to be here. And oh, wow, what a good break there. Sorry, I was trying to introduce myself, but Chris, it'll good.
Yeah, the action starts fast around here, Charlie.
Yes, sir. I'm learning that.
The 10 ball's in a tight spot along with the 5. If he can navigate that, he might have a good run-out opportunity here.
Well, it looks like if he can pocket the 4 and get a little bit of an angle where he can go down and move the 5, or even get below it where he can shoot the 5 in the lower right-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, does the 4 pass the 1 ball into the side?
Hard to tell. I believe it does. I mean, I think he's got like 3/4 of a pocket there.
So maybe a little tight. He's also got the 6 in the corner. It's just the cue ball being close.
So close,
might be
yes,
an
sir.
issue. It looks like that's what he's going to opt for here. And it falls.
So he's definitely going to have to figure out a way to navigate that 5 ball down there next to the 10.
Yeah, the key here is, if you're looking at this and thinking, oh, he's got an easy shot on the 1 ball, he really doesn't want to take that because that is his lead in to the 5.
Key shape position ball.
And what a shot that was. A little bigger of a bump would have helped him, or maybe a little less of one.
He might be able to get to it right now when he pockets the 4.
Oh, yeah, drawn with a little bottom inside.
I don't even think he's got to use any draw. Just a little bit of center left.
Center left?
Yeah.
Hold that cue ball to that rail.
I think he's going to bump to 10 probably.
Let it bump out. It's a great shot.
Hey, I got one right.
Imagine that.
Is he going to try to shoot this ball on the side right now?
I'm not sure I like that. I think I like playing the 1.
Yeah, but, the 7 ball's delicate. I mean, you need to be able to get kind of straight in to shoot that ball in the corner.
Yeah.
To let the pocket be as big as possible by the 9.
Absolutely.
On the 7 ball. And if it was almost straight in, at the speed that he hit the ball in the side pocket's the biggest that it could be.
Yeah. Well, in here he set himself up with a pretty simple, just almost a stop shot.
Yeah. Hey, he banked it in. Did you see that?
He did bank it in 2 rails. Yeah, and players, once they learn, the pockets can be manipulated a little.
In certain angles, like there, the angle into the rail was only like 10 degrees.
Yeah.
One of the things that you should master with all tip placements is the putt stroke. So what's the rule here?
Okay.
When it jumps off the table.
This is an interesting one. So had he scratched, Chris would have had ball in hand behind the line in the kitchen. And could shoot any direction. So if there's a ball in the kitchen, he could have shot backwards.
Yes, sir.
However, because he threw the ball off the table, it is now ball in hand anywhere.
He threw it.
Well, he launched it.
He launched it.
It shot off like a rocket the way that ball came in. I'm surprised it didn't slam.
Well, it bounced a couple times, yeah. He almost had a slam dunk in the corner pocket.
Absolutely. So, Chris here, look at this. He's going to get a nice little bump here on the 3.
And that was the key breakout ball.
Really opened up this.
Yes. By having that ball in hand, you was able to get to that shot as quick as possible.
Yeah, so really.
So what's your philosophy when you're looking at an 8-ball rack?
The first thing I do is obviously I want to navigate what my problem ball is and what my opponent's problem balls are. I'm not a champion player.
Yes, sir.
I don't run out as often as you guys do.
Yes, sir.
So if I can figure out what mine is and what my opponent's is, I know what I have to do to break mine out, and I know to stay away from my opponent.
Well, let's say if the table's open, what do you do?
Oh, I just plan out my route, find my out ball from the 8-ball.
Key ball.
And I work backwards.
Key ball.
Key ball. Find my key ball on the 8-ball and work
then
backwards.
Also ask yourself, do I have multiple key balls?
That makes sense.
If you look for 2 or 3 more key balls, now maybe you might find an easier way to run the rack instead of just having blinders on and picking only 1 key ball.
Yeah.
But you got to be a fast thinker to find 3 key balls with this clock at this format.
Yeah.
I'd
be anxious to see Charlie Hillbilly Bryant play a 6-ball shootout or play a 30-minute timed match.
It's going to happen. This year, I just didn't play. I wanted to come down and meet everybody and have a chance to get in the booth and talk to everybody and stuff. And I've got lessons I got to go back and do tomorrow in Dallas. Of course.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and this is a super quick couple of racks here.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Already
foul.
under 5 minutes, ain't it?
Yeah, 4 minutes and 33 seconds have elapsed. And with a 2-0 victory. Now, this is interesting here. Chris shot this, and a lot of other players are getting a pop, almost like you would see maybe in a 10-ball rack. He did not get the pop.
Why?
He did not put in, well, he didn't put as much power in it, but he just kind of let the cue ball slide backwards, and I think that's not what he wanted to do. I don't think he was aimed quite right on the cue ball to acquire that pop.
What creates the pop is the elevation.
When you're
coming down on the ball, and depending on the power that you use, determines what elevation you use.
Of course. Learning all kinds of stuff here from Hillbilly Bryant. If you're in and around anywhere where this man happens to be, I would definitely go talk to him. Might learn a thing or two.
Well, I just love the game, and I've always loved giving, and I want to see the sport be the best it can be, and I'm happy to be a part of Ultimate Pool, and I look forward to the future.
Well, and Chris here is not happy with this outcome here.
He needed to stun that ball, or he needed to use extreme left spin to get it to spin from the first rail to the bottom rail.
I don't see a super aggressive play here, so I think I would opt to touch the 14 and let your cue ball run up against the 7, because here's an interesting rule. If Chris can get the cue ball
froze to
the 7 touching, the other player, Brian, has to shoot away from the 7.
Some kind of 90, something beyond the 90,
yes.
Like the tangent line, like what we teach here in America. Like
mainly because if the 7 ball would have moved at all,
yes,
it is a foul. I want to make sure I get it correctly, but I believe it's a foul because it's a touching ball.
Yes.
So he did not get onto the 7 ball here, but I think it's going to work out for him. He played an okay shot.
He's trying to make this.
If Brian makes this ball, which he did.
And he actually played a real good two-way shot there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he took the 14 away from Chris in case Chris missed the ball.
Yeah, and Brian's got an opportunity here to get
back in it, 2-1 if he goes ahead and gets out here.
Yeah, Chris could be looking at this and say, "Oh, I made a bigger mistake than I thought I had." Sometimes.
So there's multiple key balls here that can be used just because the 8's in a good position that you got 3 pockets available.
I like the 5 ball because I feel like anytime you can move the cue ball forward towards your shape on the 8 ball,
absolutely,
I feel like it works better that way. I don't like drawing to my 8 ball shot because, in my opinion, I think it's easier to mess up.
You know why?
On the draw.
You're not using that accelerated stroke.
Probably not. But forward motion is
absolutely
always a good one to keep hold of.
Well, my golden rule is if I don't want the ball to move far, I want to shoot the ball almost straight in.
Yeah.
I want to let that object ball absorb all that cue ball's energy.
And you can control that if you're straight. If you have angle, it's much harder to control.
For sure. So he's just going to float a little forward.
And just like that, like I said, moving forward for his 8 ball, and going to shoot the 8 ball here and get on the board. The skunk is off.
So something I like and I teach it a lot, is like what he was doing there as he was in his pre-shot routine. He's like a golfer, what a golfer always does, or like.
Did well in the shootout, beating out Tyler Steyer. A little short in the finals against Darren Appleton. Of course, Darren, our tournament champion for the Louisiana shootout.
Now, did Darren go ahead and play the Open?
Yes. So part of the rules of the shootout was that you had to play in the Open.
So in order to play in the pro event, or
in order to qualify for the Invitational,
you had to play
in the Open.
Okay.
So no pros just sneaking in and saying, I want to play the shootout and I don't want to play the Open. No, we're not doing that. They played both events. And the shootout was fun. The shootout was a lot of fun. It was
for sure,
very interesting to watch.
He needs to get that 2 ball going.
He's
Now he's in a good position now, because if he can shoot that 4 and you be able to get to the 1 without trying to get full on the 1, so the cue ball's not going to move far after contact.
I think he might have rolled a little far.
No, I think he's good.
Yeah, he could make it.
So I would use the 2 ball as my key ball. So 1, 4, 7, 2, 8. The 8 has 2 available pockets. They're diagonal from each other.
Yeah, I think you're correct there.
Now you could shoot the 2 and draw back, but you're drawing it across the line. So if you draw it way too far, now you'd have to go all the way to the end rail when you shoot the 4 and come back up through the 7.
Yeah, and he's fairly straight on this 2 ball, so it may be tough to go forward. He may be forced to draw back.
Yeah, he's going to have to draw it. Just the main thing is make sure you don't draw it too far.
And just as you said, now he's going to have to go to the bottom rail.
He's going to have to work the cue ball a lot. Now, he might be able to baby it and hold it, but get a thin cut on the 7.
So do you like playing this and trying to hold to the right side of the table, or maybe letting your stroke out and go around the table?
Yeah. See, one of the things that hurt him there, he didn't pause long enough on the final stroke.
He's very quick on his timing.
On that one.
Yeah.
He's been pausing a lot, and there he kind of, because he was uncomfortable, he didn't let his arm go quiet. And so it's real easy to make Q-tip errors.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still may be okay. He may be able to cross-bank his ball. Oh.
Any pocket's good.
I thought he double-banked it there for a second, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way he went at that ball. I like drawing a little big, let my stroke out going around, because you have this big open space at the top of the table. But he really underhit it and didn't give himself a chance.
When he shot the 4 ball?
Yeah, he didn't give himself a chance to that
He
shot.
should have shot that ball with punch left-hand English.
Yeah.
So that he comes back to the center of the table.
So you liked him staying on the right-hand side of the table rather
absolutely.
than going 2 rails around.
Yeah, because there's too much traffic.
This makes sense.
See, I thought he should have left the 2 ball. Now, Chris has got to get on this 11 ball pretty quick. Now, the combo's available if he wanted to shoot it, but I don't like shooting them combos unless both balls is off the rail a little bit. If one of them's frozen, the other one ain't, it just makes them touchy. But if both balls is a little bit off the rail, the combo's pretty simple.
Yeah, and I think both balls are just off the rail. It does look close with the 13. I think the 11 is
And he's
off.
going to be able to hit the ball pretty much at pocket speed, so the pocket's as big as it could be. So a little draw back here, 2 or 3 balls. He's got multiple pockets he can play shape to. He's probably going to play shape to the side pocket.
Yeah, and this is...
No, it looks like he's going to go down and come up and shoot the 8 in the same pocket, maybe. Or just go down and use a little outside.
Yeah, he's going to end up a little 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Here. I actually like the side pocket in this situation. I love shooting at the side pocket. He's got a little bit more angle than I initially thought, because the cue ball is just high of the 8 ball.
If he cuts it in the side pocket, I think he can float it and he don't have to...
Well, jacking up on this ball tells me he's not shooting it into the side.
I was getting ready to say his risk of scratching off that ball. I mean, the way he hit the ball, if he hadn't hit that 7 full, any bit, like a millimeter right of full, that ball would have... The side pocket was humongous. Anybody's game then.
Yeah.
At 2-2, it's a big swing, especially with Chris breaking as well.
And Chris, again, no pop there.
It lifted a little, but the bad thing, you see a lot of people breaking the balls and they're getting that big hop. Well, it's hard to keep enough top English to get the ball to do what we say squat.
Yeah.
Well, by keeping it low, you're not losing as much energy, and that ball's going to squat quicker.
And generally what happens is that ball moves backwards because of the contact, and then all of a sudden it's going to jerk forward and stop dead.
You know why it jumps so much further back in 8 ball versus 10 ball?
I don't. More pressure coming back at you?
No, it's a 15-to-1 ratio.
There you go. Yeah.
You got a 10-to-1 ratio weight differential, and then you got a 15.
As long as they're all touching.
Weight difference, yes.
But
you still, I mean, you're going to, that mass.
Yeah.
So breaking 8 ball with the same racket you break 10 ball, you know, the ball's going to jump back further.
Yeah, and Tyler Steyer does it really, really well here. He gets a lot of pop, but generally sends the cue ball several inches, feet, whatever you want to call it, up in the air. It's a large amount.
Well, that's one thing. I mean, you know, that's one of the things I was known for a long, long time was how big a break I had. And Tyler's one of the new Americans that definitely, and the break is such a big component of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most important shot that there is.
All of them's important, but the break means a lot too.
Yeah. I think the break means as much as shooting the 8 or the 9.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful here. He may need to make his 14 come out of there. And that's what he tried. I think he was trying to make it come 2 rails down here and on the right quadrant of the table.
Yeah.
But he cut it he hit it too full.
Yeah, and he's going to have to go to the rail here, trying to make this ball in the bottom right.
So if he kicks this ball and he hits the left side of the ball, and he hits it kind of thin, he also has the opportunity to float down here and get behind the 4 and make the 7 if he hits it too thin.
What a shot that was. Throw that one on the highlight reel.
What do you do now?
I think you follow the 7 ball into the side pocket.
You don't
Look at this again. Beautiful shot here by Chris.
Oh, wow.
It's so difficult to get the right amount.
Absolutely.
When the ball is that far off the rail.
See, I might play it off 7 in the corner. Good shot, Chris.
Oh, man.
Good shot.
2 absolutely amazing shots by Chris Reinhold. We're now looking at a 4-1 victory.
How many times has Chris been on the Moscone? I know he's been on there multiple times. Is it 2 or 3?
I believe it's 2.
Yeah, here we go.
He's got a ball down, and they don't look terrible. He needs a good opening shot here.
I like the stripes here, and I like shooting the 14 off of the 13.
Gives you a chance to move the 6 ball.
Getting rid of that one problem ball. He can let the ball float over, be able to shoot the 15 next. If the cue ball runs into 3, he's always got the 12.
Yeah, I like it.
Both of them is good balls.
Yeah, the tough part here. So now, look, he's going to do the same thing you said, just using the opposite suit.
Well, he could shoot the 6 and then shoot the 7 here, too.
I think he's going to make the 7 and pop the 6 ball out.
But anytime you're moving multiple balls, you run the risk of...
Yeah, big risk-reward situation.
But he's still in good shape here because now his 6 ball is his key ball.
Yeah, and it's just a couple good shots away.
He should have babied that ball. He didn't have to hit that ball that hard. Just barely bumped the 10 to the rail, and he would have been dead perfect.
Yeah, and I'm sure Chris is looking fairly stoic and stone-faced over there. But,
if he's got room to kick his 3, the pocket down here is humongous.
With the position of the 12 ball,
and if he's able to make the 3, more than likely he's going to hit that 6 ball full.
Yeah, and time clock here. Brian's going to use his extension. And
he's probably going to hit the right side of the 9. Nope, good shot.
He made a good shot, but he's right back into the same position. The only difference is now he may be able to see more of that side rail than he could before.
Like my daddy used to say, sometimes you just got to go.
Oof. It was a good attempt at it. Unfortunately for him, Chris Reinhold coming to the table with a solid 7 ball to the 8 run out. Doesn't have to do much. Really doesn't want to touch that 8 ball, I don't think.
No.
Came out okay.
So I wonder what his key ball is probably going to be the 12.
Yeah.
There's multiple key balls here, too. With the pros, because they move the ball so good and such good control, they're able to have more key balls, especially when there's not clusters out there.
Yeah.
Where it's really critical is when there's clusters, you definitely have got to pay attention to key balls. So it looks like he's probably just going to draw it over and shoot the 12 in the same pocket, or he's going to draw it over and back out. Good shot.
Yeah, and Chris played that one pretty well, actually. He's played this whole match well. One of the players to keep an eye on.
Is this a winner side match?
This is a winner side match.
All right.
I'm hoping we get a chance to see how some of these other matches have turned out. I know Billy Thorpe and Ernesto Bayawa were 4-4 a minute ago.
Oh, really? See if it stays low like it had been. See, that ball didn't even hardly jump at all.
Yeah, and
that's the break.
He's
really this break right here.
Well. So no pop.
Just a flat, high ball. Let the ball jump back with its momentum and then just take a hole. Yeah, I figured he was going to shoot the 9 ball first there.
Oh, and he's set up really well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Brian here, it looks like Chris may be getting to the hill fairly quickly. We are just under the 20-minute mark in this match. So Chris making quick work of potting these balls and winning these games.
So he's probably going to shoot the 10 in and get the 2-rail angle. No, he's going to shoot the 14. I thought he might do it to get the 2-rail angle position.
He came up a little straight on this. He wanted to be straight to the pocket, but he's really got a big angle. I think he'll be okay.
He may just come to the side rail and shoot the 8 in the side.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Charlie. Great shot in the side. And listen, if Hillbilly's telling you this is what might happen, he knows a thing or two about this.
Well, thank you, sir, for the kind words. I appreciate it.
And Chris Reinhold up on the hill, 6-1. Brian here struggling with the break.
Yeah.
And it was a phenomenal break other than the scratch.
Yeah, if he did not hit it quite so much to the right side of the rack in our perspective, he would have hit the side rail and the side pocket would have been so big.
Yeah.
So something that a lot of people don't realize is like on the mishits and high English breaking. If you're not making the ball jump back past the side pockets and the ball's jumping back close to the side pocket, from side pocket to side pocket, right across
the line across the side pockets. Yeah.
Well, that high English, the cue ball arcs and it turns in that side pocket. Now it's coming at it at a full pocket.
Yeah.
Where it's as big as it could be.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and that's why we do see so many people. They try to do the squat. They have a little bit of angle, and it hooks right in the side pocket.
You have to make the ball jump back at least a half a diamond above the side pocket. The perfect break box above the side pocket is like half a diamond to 2 diamonds, making that ball jump in that 1.5 diamond zone across the table.
Oh, and Tyler.
It's a delicate little position here.
Excuse me, Chris making quick work.
Oh, wow, good shot.
And I think he's going to have to. Is he going to have to bank it, or can he just?
I think what he's going to do. No, I think he can make the 9 and just kind of stun into the 8. The 8's going to hit the 4 and basically stay there, and the cue ball's going to float to the right side of the table, and he's going to shoot the 8 in the side pocket.
That's a good call there. Let's see how it works out.
No, he couldn't hit the side of it that I thought.
Now, what do you do here? Do you cut this ball all the way down?
Absolutely. You just got to pay attention. I won't say what we normally call them in America. You got to pay attention to the point.
Yeah.
Of the side pocket.
Yeah, you definitely don't want the 8 ball clipping the point there. This is a big shot.
Yeah. Big pocket if he hits it at a little bit close to pocket speed. Just got to miss that point.
Oof. Yeah, and he did not. He caught all of it. Sent the 8 ball across the table.
So, Stevens, when I teach on those super thin cuts like that, I don't address the cue ball at center to the edge of the object ball. I address it edge to edge.
Really?
With my body line. I put my body over on edge to edge.
That's got to be a learning curve, I think, for most people. But if it works,
most people, when I finally get them moving, because it's about a body line. Aiming's done about a body line.
Yeah.
The way you walk in on the ball. And because most people hit cut shots fat.
Yeah, I can agree.
Well, if you just start moving over a little bit, like move over 50% of the cue ball to edge and walk in and see if you're still hitting it fat.
Yeah.
If you're still hitting it fat, then start addressing the ball at edge to edge, and I'll guarantee you start cutting thin cuts a lot better.
Yeah. I do pretty well with my thin cuts, so...
you just missed the straight in ones a lot.
Yeah, I missed those too, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, what happened? I'm sorry, I got to talking.